Good morning. If I'm already live on StreamYard, I think I am. Good morning. It's nothing worse than somebody just staring blindly at the screen, is there? Oh my goodness. This will not stream into my group again. I give up. All right. I'm just going to focus on you guys. Forget about the group. How are you this morning? We seem to have a little bit of lag as well. So, hey ho. It is what it is, isn't it? We do the best that we can with technology that we've got. So good morning to you all. I hope you are well. The sun is shining. So how amazing is that? I love it when the sun's shining. I have already been out, taken Dan to work, done the shopping, been to Cash and Carry, come home, unpacked it all, made myself a cup of tea and arrived slightly late for my live. But here I am. For those of you that don't know me and are seeing me for the first time, I'm Mandy Nicholson and I'm the Creative Genius Consultant. I'm an artist, I'm an author, and a creative retreat owner in Scotland. And I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their businesses and make more money. And that's what I want to talk to you about today is money mindset. I've talked a lot in my time about money mindset because it was one of the things that I had to work on the most when I lost everything and ended up at rock bottom. It was really, really hard. I'm just going to, while I'm talking to you, I'm just going to log out of this and let my group know that they can watch me live on other platforms because Facebook has failed me once again. It fails me every week at the minute. Anyway, so we're talking about money mindset. Why did I have to work on my money mindset? Because I ended up at rock bottom. So what was rock bottom for me? Rock bottom, and you've heard me tell this story if you've watched me before a million times. Rock bottom for me was going from living in an idyllic country farmhouse with views of Northumberland with my, married, 2 kids, 2 dogs, typical nuclear family, 6-figure job working at IKEA. And in an instant, and it really was an instant, I lost everything. So it started with a car crash. And from the car crash, a series of unfortunate events unfolded. I'm not stumbling here. I'm typing and talking, and I just can't do that. I'm done. Right. Okay. I am sharing that now on my group. Right. So a series of unfortunate events unfolded after I had the car crash. It was the stuff of legends, the stuff that I tell the story of in my book, The Life I Won. To end up at rock bottom, you have to lose a lot. Remember, I had a 6-figure job. I was a senior manager in retail. And my money mindset was abundance. I always had abundance. I could always get, I was getting promoted for a couple of years. I was earning a huge salary. I had a company car. We had a second family car. We were well off. So my money mindset was, help people spend the money, don't scrimp. So I helped my sister to get the pub that she really wanted. And, I paid for my husband to do courses and things. I was very generous with my money. But in this series of unfortunate events, the car crash caused me to be off work from my really high profile 6-figure job. And then came everything else. I was really positive at the start, even though I was badly injured and off work for a few months and was doing loads of learning. I was doing coaching qualifications while I was off. I was doing reading The Secret, watching the movie, doing all the manifesting that I could do. And I discovered my husband was having an affair. So the marriage crumbled. My dad was diagnosed with cancer. Dan was identified as being autistic. My sister, who I was a partner with in her pub venture, a silent partner, was struggling with her mental health and got herself into over £100,000 worth of debt, which means I was in that debt as well. Because when you're a partner in a business, it's good to know this. If you are a partner in any business, you are 100% liable for all of the debt within that business. And if it's not a limited company, which it wasn't, you are personally liable. So I was liable for my sister's debt. This is what I said about my money mindset. I had an abundance money mindset and I was wealthy, so I didn't have to think about helping people and doing things. And I didn't think about the consequences. So when I ended up at rock bottom, we did all of this. My sister got into debt. My dad died. My marriage crumbled. My son was diagnosed with autism on Christmas Eve of that very same year, which was 2009. I was made homeless. I was made bankrupt and homeless. And I ended up in social housing by February 2010 with £30 in my bank account and a £700 Suzuki Swift, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and myself to provide for, living in a council house in Amble. And I had to completely reframe my thinking. I was starting from scratch. I was bankrupt. The slate had been wiped clean. I had no assets and no money. So I was no better off or worse off than anybody else that I knew, anybody else around me. I was just starting from zero. So the thing that I needed to work on was my money mindset and forgiving the people that caused me to be there. So I had to work on forgiveness first and foremost, but then I had to work on my money mindset. I could no longer be generous with my money. I had to become self-serving with my money, and I had to become really concentrated on money. I had to acknowledge and be grateful for every penny because I had nothing. And I had to look at how can I generate money to pay for myself and my kids, to feed us, to pay for dance lessons, to get them to school, to put petrol in the car, to feed the dogs. I had to do something really quickly. So I had no money. The first thing I did was, right, how can I make money? And I started a cleaning business. So that's the first thing I do. What can I do really quickly that I can put a message out there and say, does anybody know anybody who needs cleaners? And within 3 days of doing that, and I did that on Facebook, I had generated enough clients to pay our bills, to my ducks in a row money, enough clients to pay our bills. I was also claiming tax credits or whatever it was at the time and child benefit. So there was money coming in. It wasn't a lot of money, but there was money coming in. My job then was to make myself self-sufficient. So I built up my cleaning business. And as soon as I had money over and above my ducks in a row figure, then I invested it in myself. And I paid for 2 courses. I went on Jack Canfield's program and on Bob Proctor's, and invested in my knowledge. That's what I did first, invested in my knowledge. And the first thing that I worked on with them was my money mindset. So here's my 3 tips that I'm going to share from that. And the reason I've told you the pre-story is you've got to understand where this knowledge and understanding is coming from. And I did put a poll out in my group yesterday about the biggest things that people struggle with in terms of money. And the highest one was spending habits. I find it hard to manage my spending and save money. That was the highest one on the poll that I did yesterday. The second one was self-worth. I struggle to believe I deserve financial success. Okay, so when you think about money, those 2 things came up in my poll in my group yesterday. I struggle to believe that I deserve financial success, and I find it hard to manage my spending and save money. Those 2 things, top of the pile. And most people's money mindset comes from that place, and it comes from a place of lack of self-worth and lack of money management skills. So if I'm going to give you 3 tips today on improving your money mindset, then let's start with that. The first one is your self-worth. You are as worthy as me and as the next person of being able to generate, earn money, charge what you are worth, and manifest wealth into your business and into your life. You are worthy. So how do you work on that? That's the first thing that you need to work on, because if you don't think you're worthy of money, it impacts your spending habits, because as soon as you get money, you release it and let it go. You will either spend it or you'll give it away. It's what I was doing. I had to work on my mindset. You won't really value that money that's coming into you. So you need to work on self-worth first. So what I would suggest is that you do an exercise of writing down all of the reasons that you are worth charging a higher rate for the work that you do. Why are you worth that? Think about your knowledge, your experience, your life experience, your skills, all the things that make you you. You're a package of great stuff. Doesn't have to have a degree in there. You don't have to have qualifications in there. But if you've got them, that's part of it. You've got your education, but your life skills as well. So first thing is, write down why you are worthy of charging a premium for what it is you do. And then I want you to create yourself 3 affirmations. 3 affirmations about your self-worth. And they can be really simple, like I am enough. I am successful. I am worth the same as the next person. Whatever you choose, but it's I am, I already believe it, I'm already there. 3 affirmations about your self-worth. So that's my tip number 1 on your money mindset. You've got to work on your self-worth first. When you come into my creative mastermind, it's the first thing I do is work on mindset. Before anything else, we work on mindset. We purge the past a bit, think about the future, and work on limiting beliefs, mindset, imposter syndrome, all these things that come up for us as creatives. Tip number 2 is to get your ducks in a row with your money. Know your money. Know exactly what's coming in. Okay, so what's coming in, what's going out? What are your monthly costs? Do an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, write it all down. What goes out regularly every month? What's your ducks in a row figure that you need to earn to pay all of your bills? What is it? Get control of it. Yeah, because if you know what's got to go out every month, you know exactly what the minimum is that needs to come in. So then have a look at what is coming in. Then you can start asking questions about how can I make more money, but get your ducks in a row first. Know exactly where you are. And I want you to know that to the penny. To the penny. And I want you to be grateful that you have the services and products that you are paying for every month. I'm grateful for my Sky subscription. I'm grateful that I can heat my home. I'm grateful for my mortgage provider lending me the money to buy my house. I'm grateful to my landlord to allowing me to rent the house. Whatever it is, I'm grateful for where I am right now. Every single penny of it. And the same with your income. I'm grateful for the income. Wherever it's coming from, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. So number 2 is get your ducks in a row. Get your ducks in a row. Number 1, self-worth. Number 2, get your ducks in a row. And number 3, the other thing that came up on my poll yesterday. So, people are saying my spending habits, I'm finding it hard to manage my spending and save money. And investment knowledge. I'm unsure about how to invest and grow my money. Fear of scarcity sits in there. So we've got fear, which is your self-worth. We've got not knowing how to save, which is about ducks in a row figure. How much do I need to live? And then how do I generate more? So my 3rd tip is when you get your ducks in a row and when you've started to work on you, then you go, right, how can I make £50 a month extra? All right, for what I'm doing now, how can I make £50 a month extra? So I don't want you to start huge and think about thousands. I want you to get your ducks in a row figure, get yourself sorted, know that you've got enough to live, and then go, right, how do I make an extra £50? Whatever that is, maybe that's going out with a post on Facebook for something valued at £50 or whatever social media site you are and selling it, talking about that product or service and selling one. just selling one. Go out there and sell one. When you've made that extra £50, I want you to be really grateful for that £50. And I want you to split it like this. You take 20% of it to spend on yourself, right? So that's £10. You can have £10. I want you to put £20 into a rainy day fund and £20 into savings. And that's how you start. You start really small. And that's where I started. And this might seem granny sucking eggs, but most people don't do this. Work on your self-worth, get your ducks in a row, then look at how you can generate a small amount of extra income and allocate it to 3 different funds. 20% to you, then 50% of the remainder into rainy day fund and the other 50% into savings. And it sounds, that's 20, 20 and 10. It doesn't sound a lot. But when you've done that consistently for 2 months, an extra £50, and you've put it into those 3 accounts, I want you to try and make 200 extra pounds. Because if you can make 50, you can make 200. And if you can do the 200, you can do 500. So you build it gradually from what you're doing. You give yourself small goals and you manage it effectively. These are not huge things I'm telling you to do today, but you need to start somewhere. You need to start with you and how you think about money and how you manage your own feelings about money, because you may really struggle to receive money. As well as charging the right amount, you may struggle to receive it. So that's why I always start with your self-worth, get your ducks in a row, know what's coming in, going out, and then how can I make an extra 50 and allocate it to those 3 funds? That's how I started. I didn't even start with 50. I started, how can I make an extra 20? Yeah, and started giving myself £5 and splitting the other into the 2 accounts. And I moved it up really slowly and it soon spiraled. And if I say to you, that was 2010 when I ended up in social housing with my 2 kids and 2 dogs and my cleaning business, that was 2010. And in 2019, 9 years later, I bought my £350,000 dream home for cash. I handed over the cash for that. My investments were high risk. They were consistent. I was consistent from day one. That first £7.50 that went into the savings account. Yeah. From then, I grew it and I grew it to £500,000. And I invested and I purchased my dream home for cash. So if you want to know about savings and investments, find yourself a really good financial advisor and take advice and invest your money in different higher risk funds. I still do the same today. I never have any money. I'm always skint. I'm quite opposite because all of my money as it goes in is allocated to certain funds. And I have it in high risk funds that I can't access. I've got most of my money in a 95-day account, a 95-day notice account, because I get higher interest in the 95-day notice account. The rest of it's in pension funds and in bonds and in property. All the highest risk things that can make me the most money. That's where you get to, but you start with that first 50 quid. Start with 50 quid. Don't think that money is too difficult for you to create, to manifest, and to manage, because it isn't. You are in control. Get yourself in control first and foremost. So that's my money mindset. In the description on this very live, there's a link to my Mandy's Mini Money Mindset Makeover. I love alliteration, I do. Mandy's Mini Money Mindset Makeover. That's a freebie. It's 6 audios just going through some of the basics of helping you to work on your mindset and you. So you're welcome. Take that free of charge. Work through it. It'll take you half an hour of your time to listen to those. Okay. And I will see you next week. I'm going to wish you wealth and abundance and your ability to manifest both, and see you again next Tuesday with a different topic. Bye for now.